Good morning students, I Professor Rajeshwari Sharma here. Welcome back to e-learning session of TS College of Commerce, Vaidha. So, today we are going to discuss the subject Indian economy, and under this chapter we are going to discuss economic growth and economic development. That is the second chapter under our second unit, that is Indian economy and the policy. Under this chapter, we will see the introduction to the economic growth and economic development, then the meaning, features and the indicators of economic growth and economic development, and the difference between the two approaches, that is economic growth and economic development. So let us start with the introduction. See, in the period of history, that is before the year 1960, these two terms, that is economic growth and economic development, considered to be the same. No distinction had been made between these two terms. It had been used interchangeably by the economists. But after the period of 1960, economists have started realizing that there is difference between these two terms, that is economic growth and the economic development, and these two terms have been emerged as separate concepts, two different concepts, that is the concept of economic growth and the concept of economic development. So why the economic growth and the economic development is different? We will see it with the help of an example. See, when I am talking about the economic growth, so growth is generally a natural process. But when we are talking about the development, so development is a process which is deliberately planned, which is deliberate and planned. So development is the deliberate and the planned process, whereas growth is a natural process. Let us take an example. See, there is some XYZ college whereby the number of students are increasing for a particular year. Now we will consider the two situations. The situation one is the number of students are increasing in the college because the population is increasing, because the number of college going students in a particular area is increasing, and therefore the number of students in a college is increasing. So what is this phenomena is? Whether it's a growth or development, it's a growth because it's happening because of some natural reasons. As the population is increasing, as the number of college going students are increasing, and therefore the number of students in the college is increasing. So it's a growth. But now consider the second situation. In a college, number of students are increasing, but along with that, the performance of college, the placement in the college, the performance of the meritorious students in the college, the merits of the college, all these things are also being considered. All these things are also being improved in a college. So, and due to this, the number of students in the college are increasing. So now what is this? This is development. In the first situation, no qualitative change was happening. Like the number of students was increasing only due to one reason, that is population was increasing and the number of college going children are increasing. Therefore, the number of students was increasing. There were no qualitative development. So that was the case of the growth. But in the second case, we have seen that the performance of college is also getting improved in terms of the merit, in terms of the placement, in terms of sports. So the quality is also being enhanced over here, and therefore the number of the students in a particular college is increasing. So it is the development. So from this example we can understand that growth is just a quantitative phenomena, whereas when we talk about the development, so it is a qualitative phenomena. So this is the basic difference between the economic growth and economic development, and that is why after 1960 the economists have used these two terms as a separate concept, that is economic growth and economic development. Moving towards the economic growth. Now we will see the definition of economic growth. See, first definition is given by J.K. Mehta. Economic growth indicates the quantitative increase in national income. Here in this definition, again, it has again the focus is on that economic growth is a quantitative phenomena which refers to increase in national income. Okay. Now we will see the second definition, which is given by the Professor Miller. Economic growth is a process whereby an economy's real per capita income increases over a longer period of time. In this definition as well, the focus has been given to the quantity. Quantity of what? Quantity of real per capita income. We will understand this now when we will see the indicators and the features. Okay. So the Professor Miller says economic growth is a process whereby the real per capita income of a particular country increases over a longer period of time. Means there is a sustaining growth in the per capita income of a country. Now we have seen the meaning and the definition of economic growth. Now whether the country is making the economic growth or not, how it can be determined? Like in today's era, we all are suffering from the period of COVID-19. So you must have heard that in news channels and newspapers. You must have heard or you must have read that there are some predictions about the various economies by the different agencies like World Bank and the IMF, Fitch, Moody. They give the growth predictions for the different economies. Like they say, this economy is going to get contracted, the GDP of this economy will come down, the GDP of a particular economy will contract by so and so percent or expand by so and so percent. So what is all this? How does it shows the economic growth? So when we talk about this GDP, PCI, PCC, so all these are the indicators of economic growth. So now we will discuss the indicators of economic growth. When we talk about the indicator, so indicators are those macroeconomic variables which shows whether the growth of particular economy is being occurred or the particular economy is going down. So first of all, we will discuss the GDP. See, when there is increase in GDP, so it is considered that the country is growing, country is making the economic growth. What is GDP? GDP is a total value of all goods and services produced during the year in a country. Okay. There are two, when we talk about the GDP, so there are two types. One is real GDP and another is nominal GDP. The real GDP is also known as the GDP at constant prices or GDP at the factor prices. And when we talk about the nominal GDP, so it is a GDP whereby the rate of inflation is also added, whereby which also includes the inflation. For example, see, when I am talking about the real GDP, so the prices of goods and services are already fixed. So when I am talking about the real GDP, so a base year is fixed for measuring the prices of goods and services. A base year is fixed. And currently in India it is 2011-12. So when I'm talking about the real GDP, so the value of goods and services are considered at that price which were prevailing in a country in year 2011-12, that is considered as a base year. So that is real GDP. And when the inflation rate is added in that GDP, so it becomes the nominal GDP. Now why when the GDP of a particular nation increases, so how we can say that it is a sign of economic growth of a nation? Because GDP is a value of all goods and services produced in a country during a particular period of time. Okay, so increasing in production of goods and services. So when the production of goods and services is increasing, it means the investment is increasing. When the investment is increasing, it means the production is increasing. When the production is increasing, means the employment is increasing. When the employment is increasing, which means the income is increasing. Income is increasing, which means the purchasing power of people is also increasing. When the purchasing power of people is increasing, means the demand is increasing, and when the demand is increasing, it means again the production will increase. And as the production will increase, so again there would be the positive GDP growth in the nation. So this is the cycle that keeps moving. Therefore, when there is an increase in the GDP of a country, so it is considered as good signal for the economic growth. And whenever there is a contraction in GDP of any country, any economy, so it is considered as an adverse macroeconomic variable for a particular economy or particular nation. The next one is per capita income. When I talk about the per capita income, so what is this? See, per capita income is nothing but the national income divided by total population. National income divided by total population. So when I'm talking about the national income, so national income is again it's a monetary value of all goods and services produced during a year within a country. Now the national income rise in national income can be by two ways. See, if the prices of the goods and services are increasing in a particular nation, still the national income of a country will increase, and this is the one way. And the second way is if the prices of a particular goods and services in a nation are constant, but the quantity of the goods and the services produced during a year in a nation is increasing, still the national income will increase. So when we talk about the per capita income, so per capita income is national income divided by the total population. So when the national income increases, means again the production of goods and services in a country increases, and when the production increases, so all these economic variables that we have discussed, that is investment, production, employment, income, purchasing power, demand, that will increase, which will lead to the growth and the development of a nation. So increase in per capita income is also one of the indicators of economic growth. The next one is per capita consumption. Now what is per capita consumption? What is the consumption? What is per capita consumption? So when we talk about the consumption, so per capita consumption, so it is it's a sum total of the consumption demand of all the consumers in a economy. And when we talk about the per capita consumption, so it is calculated by using total expenditure on consumption divided by total population. Now, if the per capita consumption is increasing, now when the per capita consumption is increasing, so it is considered as the good indicator for economic growth. Why it is so? It is because if per capita consumption is increasing, which means the production will also increase, and again per capita consumption is increasing, which means the production will also increase. When the production increase, the investment will increase, and investment when there will be the good investment, so again all this macroeconomic variable will have a favorable effect on them, which in turn leads to the growth of the economy. Therefore, when the GDP of a country increases, when the per capita income of a country increases, when the per capita consumption of a country or the economy is increasing, so it is these are considered as the indicators of economic growth. Okay, I hope you have understood this. Now we will see the features of economic growth. So first one is continuous process. See, when we are talking about the economic growth, So it should be a continuous process. Means there should be increase in the production of goods and services for the longer, over a long period of time. It should not be for the temporary period of time. It should not be for the short period of time. We will take an example. In a particular year, the produce from the agriculture has increased due to the favorable climate change. So can we consider it as as economic growth? Can we consider it as a continuous process? Of course not. We cannot term it as a continuous process, because it is for the particular year. If there will not be good climate condition, there will not be the good climatic condition in the next year, so the produce will decline. So continuous process means there should be increasing the production of goods and services by making the optimum utilization of the available resources for the longer period of time. So then it is known as the continuous process. So economic growth is a continuous process. The next one is increase in per capita income. So rightly we have seen the meaning of the per capita income. We get this when we divide the national income by the total population, so we get the per capita income. And when the per capita income is increasing, then it leads to the growth and the development of nation by having the positive effect on other economic variable. So increase in per capita income is another feature of economic growth. The next one is long-term process. When we talk about the economic growth, so it's a long-term process. If the production is increasing for only a quarter, or only a 2 quarter, or only a year, can we say it's showing the growth? No. For growth to occur, there should be the sustainable increase in the production process of in a production of goods and services in a particular economy. So economic growth is a long-term process. Next one is quantitative concept. See, when we are talking about the quantitative concept, so here we are talking about only numbers. Increase in the production of goods and the services. We are not discussing the nature of goods and services which are being produced in a country. We are not discussing the quality of goods and services which are being produced in a country. So here we are not talking about any quality or any nature. We are just discussing about the quantity. Therefore, economic growth is a quantitative concept. Then no structural change. So in economic growth, there is no structural change. Like if the economy is based on the agriculture, so even though the growth is occurring in a nation, it doesn't mean that it will shift from agriculture to industry or the service sector. It will continue to be the agrarian economy. So economic growth does not lead to any structural change in the economy. So it is a process which just leads to the increase in the growth and doesn't bring any structural change in the economies. The next one is no solution to the problems. See, even though the GDP of a country is increasing, even though the PCI of a country is increasing, can we ensure that employment is being provided to everyone? Can we ensure that there is equal distribution of income and wealth among the people? Can we ensure that the quality of education is increasing? Can we ensure that the poverty level is being declined in the economy? No. Even though the economic growth is occurring in the nation, the problems like the poverty, unemployment, quality of education cannot be resolved. Therefore, it doesn't provide the solution to all this nationwide problem, because it's just a quantitative concept and not a qualitative concept. So today we have seen the meaning of economic growth, indicators and the features. In tomorrow's lecture we will continue. Till then, keep studying, stay safe. Thank you.